Goes. Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 19th of April. So let's just get my charts set up properly here. Looks like it's all gone a bit Pete-tong, but let me just adjust this. I switched off the system last night and it's reverted to a daily chart instead of a monthly chart. There we go. So I've got my quarterlies on there and my monthlies on there. So where are we off to then? Stay there. Sorry about that. Let's firstly, actually, before I look at the charts, quick look at the news events today. I was scrolling down here. Well, we've had the UK inflation out. I'll talk about that in fact. Let's just do a little refresh on this. But we've had UK inflation out. Where are we? Oh, it's giving me everything now. Anyway, it's giving me UK inflation. There we go. There's a lot of other data coming out, which is quite minimal, as you can see from here. I don't know why this is. It's reduced my filters. I don't want all that yellow stuff. It has absolutely no impact, or very little impact on the markets. There we go. Inflation today, it's come up, as you can see, much higher than expected. The side of that, then we've really got the inflation this evening for New Zealand. It'll be quite interesting. Expected to come in at 1.5. Do you remember those days? They started increasing their interest rates much quicker than us, so their inflation is probably pinned back because of that. Anyway, that's quarter on quarter CPI, right? Okay. Side of that, then that's it for today. Friday's the big day with all the services and manufacturing PMI out. So let's go back and look at the charts then. Did scratch my head a little bit here this morning, to be fair, so I'll scratch it with you. Let me just get rid of all that. That's it. So looking at the euro, it looks a bit cleaner here. I was looking at it briefly on the higher time frames. Now this really hasn't finished yet, but this is what we're breaking. I can't put it on that last bar. We'll see what comes of it as this closes. It can obviously move, but is it on for more downside? It's a weird old price action here this morning in terms of overall movement. The CPI from the UK might have a knock-on effect because Europe as a whole might see the inflation pushing through, and they're just well, I don't know. Anyway, there we are. We've broken the trend line I've just drawn there, obviously, and it really is a bit of a throw of a coin there on the euro. I don't know why I'm looking at it so much, because I can't see what's happening with it. The pound, well, obviously it's put this huge move up here. There's an expectation now that interest rates will run up to about 5% now. So there we are. US dollar yen. Sorry, I've flicked through the pound only on one time frame. Let's just do it properly, and you see there's no surprise here. But the only thing is I can't really do anything with it at the moment. It might push on. I'm surprised, but it's not the best of news. Well, it's not the great news at all, and the way it's run there, well, it's just outblown it. I don't know if they're expecting like an extra 5% interest or something, but it's only pretty much what was forecast. Not the inflation, obviously, but the interest. Anyway, the dollar yen, the yen softened over the evening. The US actually is in third place today, looking at it in terms of strength. The pound is strongest at the moment. Euro not too far behind, but the yen, etc., well, it seems to be selling at the moment. The dollar strengthening here. Aussie dollar, it's pitched down. It's as messy as it's just come out the time frame. Sorry, you can see how choppy it is in this sort of chop zone on the dailies. We've got a lower high that's come through on the 4 hourlies, You can see that lower high. In fact, there's two little lower highs that have been pitched through there, but now it's running back up again. It's in a bit of a sideward chop, really. Dollar CAD. Well, the CAD was doing pretty well, but yesterday it rolled over, but then is pushed back up and looking soft again here, and it's just the strength of the US dollar really pushing through, and it was looking good for further downside there, but has since rallied, pushed back on through. Really struggling, as I said this morning. I've looked through some of these pre-market. Now the euro yen, it's continuing this shove up here. It's putting the squeeze on those short positions that are sitting there in the market. I've been talking about it, and this is one that's just going up and up and up. It's just pushing up like a good one at the moment. It's really just a continuation. The only thing I would say is there is a bit of a butterfly pattern there, which where we've had this lower high in between the two highs here. As I say, it's a bit of a butterfly pattern. If it does start breaking down, and I'll draw a trend line over here, we could see a bit more of a correction, but I wouldn't be looking to short it. I'll put it that way. These butterflies are quite unreliable, but we never know how far up they're going to push. But morning, Ian and Michael. Morning, guys. But it's a mess. They're all a mess, and I'm sitting here at this stage and thinking, well, what would I like to be in at the moment? And I would have liked to have been in the pound before the news came out, but that's not going to happen, is it? There's a lot of chop out there and uncertainty in what we can see here. Euro CAD, he says, it's looking at the higher time frames when you run through. It's having a bounce, but it's in quite a messy sort of situation across the bigger time frames here. Shorter time frames, well, maybe it has got some more. It's broken the structure, this downward structure here. It's given higher lows through. It's whether it can break on. But it's in between it's R1 pivot. I'd rather it go one way or the other, so we can get a bit of a picture. Long side possibly off the pivot there. Pound, well, the pound Aussies and the pound CAD, they've gone for us this morning. Neither of them are tradable, so I might as well scrap that. Pound yen, same. They've all flown. Let's just have a quick look at the other markets here. I'm just running through these briefly on the hourly basis, and I'll go up the time frames if I see anything that's tradable. At the moment, there's sort of this flaggy pattern, and I'm going to go back up there. Oh, it's not pretty, is it? There we go. It's better off on the dailies there. But as with the Australian dollar, always you get a lot of overlap on the bars here. So it's in this downward trend overall. Bigger picture there. You can see the structure actually on the lower highs, lower lows coming through here. A break below its weekly pivot would be a bit more interesting, but it's quite a mess where it's sitting. So a messy market this morning, and sometimes it's better off leaving it for an hour or so and seeing if you can see the wood for the trees, basically, because there's nothing I can see there that I've immediately wanted to jump aboard or plan for a proper trade, get the tickets ready. So that's how it sits, and sometimes that's how it is in the mornings. So on that note, I'm going to just switch markets now. We're going to have a quick look at gold. That's a Wednesday, isn't it? So gold coming off this morning, this strength of the dollar coming through really here this morning so far. Gold not looking so good on the 4 hours here. Yesterday it started pushing back up there. It's just literally rolled back off its weekly pivot again. Looking down here, real sell-off there. It did look like it was starting to pick up again, but no, it's not a trade I want to be in at this stage. Oil Oil even coming off, and again stronger dollar, weaker oil generally go there, not always of course, but this is continues through here, very choppy across the lower time frames here, and really quite messy. Yesterday's price action there, very choppy, selling off again at the moment. Maybe we'll see a continuation of this a little bit through the morning. Are we going to see a move down at some stage to fill that gap? There's the question. Right, so oil at the moment not looking good either. Right, a quick look at the indices. So I've not seen a market morning in these markets like this for a while. I mean, we've had some horrible ones, but it's just really isn't great. The SSI 300 off at the moment. Then it's been given a lot higher lows here. Maybe tomorrow it'll catch the bid again. It's not looking so pretty there. There's divergences running over those highs. The Nikkei hasn't really been held back. Slight off day to day, is around about those prior highs there. In fact, you need to go off to the weekly hit. Look at that horrible look. Oh, sorry, speaking out loud. Yeah, it's got a battle around this area. As you can see previously, it could pitch up a little bit further, but it's got a bit of a battle on its hands. Let's go back to a daily here for the Nifty 50. Nifty 50, are we going to get a bounce off of here more so? It's sort of come back to its trend line there. Maybe we've got a bounce coming. S&Ps, E-minis, still really is trying to drag out a move to the upside here. Struggling but slowly moving that way back into the prior highs, as I said before. It's like Groundhog Day. Dow Jones chopping along. The Nasdaq still in this tight range. The DAX still pushing up and pushing up there, but it's really quite ugly during the day at times. I was sort of looking at it. This sort of movement here, you have to come right down the time frames to actually see something, and even then it's not the most reliable. A big stop placement and swing longs or position longs is about the best place on this. It's not a great market in terms of the intraday moves. In terms of a clean move, FTSE down this morning. I would expect this to be down. This correlation with the pound being so strong. Often we see well, particularly when there's interest rates discussion, I should say, pushing in there, pushing the pound down. Maybe that'll pull the pound down, the FTSE down. Maybe we'll see the weekly pivot hit here as we run through the morning, as it sort of really dawns on people that's even higher interest rates. Okay, that's that. Let's quick look at the cryptos. Just finishing off with Bitcoin. Just check got the right market here. It's been doing okay. It's hanging around these highs again. It actually come back to the prior high sort of thing there, tested that and broken away again, but not looking wonderful. Ethereum, same consolidation. It's a thing over these markets really at the moment. We're just seeing consolidation and a bit more consolidation. So that's pretty much it for me this morning. Sorry I couldn't be a bearer of better news. It just seems that these markets are not in the best place for me. Okay, I'll catch you tomorrow for the guys on YouTube. Have a great day. Elsewhere, let's have a look at